They could have been sisters. If I showed this picture to any random group of people and asked, are these two girls sisters? I'm sure most of them would say, well, I don't know for sure, but boy, it sure looks like they could have been. Patriot nurse dodged a bullet. The person on the left is no longer with us. In today's video, we're going to cover this, and it's going to be evidence that the war in Israel right now, and it is a war, is already here. Many people think of overstated the case. Many think, well, we can stay out of it. I'm not really for either. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not if you want to keep your guns, by the way. Now do I have your attention? Wait a minute. What does this have to do with... Guess what? There are those who, if they have their way, only Muslims would be allowed to have guns in North America. Now do I have your attention? She dodged a bullet. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to sit by and do nothing in the name of both sidesism, or the idea that, well, there really is no good or evil out there. There's just the perception of it. And thank you, all of you who have joined us over the Patreon channel. Yesterday, alert, we put up a brand new video yesterday talking a little bit more about the Patriot nurse. And if you think I'm going to shut up, think again. Because there is something very real and very dangerous going on in parts of this country. Florida is not one of those places for a great many reasons. We also talk about, in the Patreon video, time travel, and something that personally happened to me that will explain to you why I talk about the Patriot nurse, because it's not an overstatement to say that her videos saved my life quite some time back. Now, if you'd like to join us, it's only $1 per month. Even less if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable. First 90 days, no questions asked. Partnering with Vimeo, we can take the gloves off and we can talk about things in a way that you're really not allowed to here. You see, and that's going to be the key. There are going to be options for keeping your rights and keeping your freedom, but you're going to have to bow the knee, and not to Almighty God. Make no mistake. So would love to have you over there. If you'd like to see that video, it's already up. It's been up for over 24 hours. To continue the quote from Edmund Burke, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. When bad men combine, the good must associate, else they will fall, one by one, an unpitied sacrifice in a contemptible struggle. And that's the key. You see, there's a whole bunch of bad people right now who all have something that they want to get done, and they don't all always agree and everything, but evil is making alliances. There was a riot, what do they call it now? A mostly peaceful protest. That's right, mostly peaceful protest. Pardon me. In D.C., where they talked about this whole thing is about gender justice, justice for Palestine, climate justice, all this kind of stuff. This from free from the land or the river to the sea, all this nonsense. See, they don't want it to be free for everybody. They just want it to be free for them. Now, who is this person? Her name is Samantha Wool. A Detroit synagogue president was fatally stabbed. Well, they say outside her home. Police just golly don't have a motive in Michigan why the president of a local synagogue was just randomly stabbed. And really, and they say in the article here that the blood trail leads back inside her home. So she was stabbed there, and she crawled out onto her lawn and died. No motive, though. No motive, though. Nothing else going on in the world with Jewish leaders or... No motive whatsoever. We're just going to pretend that it's just some random thing that happened that... You see, you're going to have to give up your guns. And this is what it sounds like to those of us who are standing with Israel, those of you who are deciding, well, I'm not sure, I'm kind of on the fence, both sides have blah, 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 all this, she might as well just hand over her gun. The Patriot nurse, she might as well just hand it over right now. Or what she can do is she can renounce her faith in God, and she can convert to Islam and then keep her gun. Because Muslims under Sharia do have gun rights. Well, they kind of have gun rights. I mean, they can keep their, they have an inherent right to keep a gun unless those in charge think that there's some civil unrest reason that they shouldn't have them, and then they can confiscate them. And that can be found right here, Brightwork Research and Analysis, that talks about this. You see, this is the idea. If you think for 1 minute that standing with anybody but Israel is going to protect your gun rights, think again. Under Sharia law, quote, non-Muslim weapon rights under Sharia, there is an intrinsic freedom to own arms. However, in times of civil strife or internal violence, this right can be temporarily suspended to keep peace. This right can be temporarily suspended to keep peace and prevent harm, as mentioned by Imam Ash-Shatibi in his works on Maqasid Ash-Sharia. Citizens not practicing Islam, however, are prohibited from bearing arms and are required to be protected by the military, the state for which they pay the jizya. In exchange, they do not need to pay the zakat. And you can look up those things. Oh, you didn't realize that as a non-Muslim, you could live in Muslim lands, but you had to pay to do it? Didn't realize that? Make no mistake. Anything other right now than a full-throated, 110% complete condemnation of Hamas, of Palestine, and of Islamic Jihad and Hezbollah, and of the Sharia movement. Anything other than that puts you in their camp. There is no two-sidesism. There's no third option here. And this is biblical. We are living in the end times. This is a time for choosing. You stand with the squad if you don't stand with Israel. You stand with the squad. And if you think turning in your guns to let the government take care of you, you see, so many people said, oh, I don't trust DC. I don't trust DC. I don't trust DC either. But you know who else I don't trust? I don't just trust the Islamic Caliphate that will be coming if we don't stand right now with Israel. This is a map they took off of an ISIS fighter. This is their plan for the world. Remember when I said there wouldn't be borders? Well, it was partially correct. There will be regions within the Caliphate. Pardon me. There will be regions, but if you notice here, they're going to dice up Saudi Arabia. And they're going to take control of all of the shipping, all through the Eastern Mediterranean, even Greece. They renamed most of Spain Andalusia. This is called the Maghreb. They call this Anatol after Anatolia. This is Turkey. India is now Hindustan. Even parts of Russia fall under ISIS control, and this is just the beginning for them. It's just the beginning. And me personally, I'm going to go with the Bible. I'm going to go with the book of Joel. The Lord will roar from Zion and thunder from Jerusalem. The earth and the heavens will tremble, but the Lord will be a refuge for his people. Who? His people. Who? A stronghold for the people of Israel. For the people of Israel. You do not have an option of being silent now. You do not have an option of staying out of it. You do not have an option of saying, well, I'm going to both sides. No. Nothing strengthens their authority so much as silence. Leonardo da Vinci. And this is months ago. This is way before the attack. This is a video from the Patriot Nurse. This sign tells of a nation's impending doom. It's called Blame the Jews. Go look at the thumbnail. That was the sign. This was months ago. And this was, I believe, 1 day ago, where the Patriot nurse expresses shock and amazement and disappointment at the amount of people in the quote-unquote prepper patriot community that are showing their true colors. Some might say, oh, Florida monkey, don't worry about her. She's got surrounded by a bunch of good patriots and they got guns and all. Look in her eyes. Look in her eyes. You don't think that's fear? I've seen fear. She suggested 2 great videos in the last couple days. No innocent mothers in Gaza. And this channel needs a lot. This channel only has 33 subs. But this video hopefully will get them a lot more. Talking about how these so-called innocent mothers in Gaza are trying to use loopholes in Geneva Conventions to be ununiformed combatants. So that they can say, oh, they're bombing civilians and they're hurting civilians while they're arming Hamas. And they're training their sons to go be martyrs for Hamas. But they want to be protected as if they're civilians. And the other one was from, I believe, 2 days ago. The real and awful reason Biden went to Israel and Blinken went to Israel. Basically trying to get resupply to Hamas. They call it humanitarian aid corridor, when really it's just resupplying Hamas. So, I mean, go ahead and choose. Go ahead and choose. But there is no side. There is no side that says you're not with Israel or with Hamas or with Islamic Jihad. There's no third side here. Because if you don't stand with Israel right now, you are going to pave the way for the squad and their gun-grabbing buddies to come take your weapons until you bow the knee to Islam. Yeah, we have gun rights in Islam. We have gun rights in Islam. Sure we do. You just have to convert. Sure, absolutely, you can live here. You had to pay taxes to Washington, D.C. You just got to pay to the Caliphate now. Just pay to the Caliphate. And of course, when things get a little rough, we will come get your guns and take them away just so nothing bad happens. Just so nothing, as we know, times right now, people's emotions are getting the best of them. And shouldn't we just disarm everybody? Just until cooler heads can prevail. There's a lot of hurt feelings right now. And so shouldn't we just seize guns, seize weapons from people, just temporarily? Just temporarily, just hand them over, just so bad things don't happen. That you'll regret later. Do you see what's going to happen? Ask this woman. See the guy that went in and stabbed her to death. That, golly, don't know what it could be. Don't know what that motive could be. The guy that went in there and did that didn't use a gun, did he? Didn't use a weapon. I'm going to say it out loud. She dodged a bullet. I know a lot of people think Michigan and Tennessee are a long way away apart. They're not. They're not. I used to live in Indiana. Actually, I was born and raised in Indiana. To get from southern Michigan, to get from Detroit to Tennessee, it's a day. Not even really a full one, to be truthful. So, I'm going to keep speaking. If it bothers people, fine. But make no mistake, it's already here. It is already here, and it is ramping up. And there are going to be people start to make calls for certain things, and you're going to wonder, wait a minute, hold on, this is all changed now. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late, so make your choice. Make your choice and figure it out. I know there's good folks out there right now listening to a lot of very suspect and very ridiculous ideas about these aren't really Jews and the Jews killed Jesus and, we can't afford another war. All this other nonsense. Make no mistake, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate you being here. Those of you that have joined us at Patreon, you guys are standing in the breach. And like I said, we got a brand new video. And Once again, go on over, sign up, check out the videos. You can watch videos going back years, going back to 2018 over there. And you can do so from now all the way through past into the third week of January. And still at that point, if it's not for you, you can get a full refund. So I'll leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. I'll pray for you. Pray for me. Lift each other up. God bless. Pray for the Patriot nurse as well. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.